I don't know if you saw, but Dan Crenshaw was doing an interview with GB News, Great Britain News, and afterwards he was talking about. Yeah, we could play it, but you're not going to really understand. Go ahead and play a little bit.
Have you ever met Tucker?
Yeah, we've talked a lot on Twitter. If I ever met him, I'd effing kill him. He's the worst person, and the guy says, the interviewer says, now they're off mic, they're finished with the interview. And the interviewer says, yeah, funny. And he's like, no, I mean it, I'd kill him. Okay, I don't know about you, but that's not something I want to hear from a former Navy SEAL or a congressman.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody who knows the gravity and knows how to kill people, you know? I suggest we don't brush this off from Dan Crenshaw. And it's not about, parties or party lines. It's about a congressman threatening to murder a private citizen who's just asking questions of the congressman. I don't threaten to kill people on CNN, nor should I. That's just wrong. Love him or hate him, Tucker Carlson, he's not an enemy combatant. And you're no longer a Navy SEAL. For him to say that he's going to kill him, no, I mean it, I'll kill him, it's not just reckless, it's obscene. For a guy like that to wield those words so casually, I think is, and it's not an isolated outburst. This guy, I mean, we kind of know who Crenshaw is. At first, at least I did. I kind of liked him. I was like, oh, this guy's going to be, he's going to go in there with the eye patch and he's going to make sure. He's not doing that. He's not a conservative. He's a big state advocate. He's a war hawk. He's a player in the globalist agenda like the World Economic Forum and ESG policies. Is he serving Texas? I don't think so. Start with his love for centralized power. Is that Texas? I don't think so. His voting record clashes with the limited government ideals that, conservatives actually hold dear. He's a defender of the national security state, backing surveillance and military overreach every time. In 2021, he opposed the warrant requirement for government access to data, your data, under Section 702 of FISA. It's not a fluke. This is not just a one-off. He always trusts the elite over our Fourth Amendment rights. That's not conservative. That's a statist. And he's cozying up to ESG and WEF priorities. I did a podcast with him once, and he said, I don't really pay attention to ESG, WEF. I don't really know what that is. Really? Don't ya? Of course he does. He hasn't openly praised the World Economic Forum, but everything he does and says lines up with him. In 2020, he co-sponsored a carbon tax bill, the Energy Innovation and Carbon Dividend Act. Ooh, it's a dividend. That sounds good. He's also not met a war he doesn't like and wants us to get into. And now this. I mean, I think we need to demand accountability. I think you should send a letter in to your congressman and the House Ethics Committee. I think they should probe this threat. In 2026, you have a shot to replace him with somebody who actually fights for the values, not Wall Street or war profiteers, but somebody who actually, fights for the things and is tough on the things you want them to be tough, not saying he's going to kill Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, and, look, it's funny because he's not going to kill Tucker Carlson, I don't think. I'm not worried about it.
I don't know. I just don't like the fact.
But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy has obviously been trained in these skills.
Right.
But
he's a congressman. You just don't say that. And then when the person laughs, you're gonna laugh with it. Right. You don't double down and say, "No, I mean it. I'd kill him."
Yeah. And the other part about it is he's supposed to be, the media would tell us that he's the balanced one.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That Tucker Carlson's always saying crazy things, and he's the one who is, he's the sensible one of the two.
And that's one reason why he's on the wrong side. If the media is like, oh, he just gets it. Oh, he's so common sense. And I mean, yeah, sure, he's a Republican, but he's a Republican we can live with. You know he's in bed with all the bad things that we want for America. So anyway, house ethics. What do you say? Anybody? Bueller?